I remember the first time I truly realized what this job was about. I got a call about a woman who had fallen in her apartment. She'd been there for days. When I walked in, her cat was feeding on her as she decomposed. There was still food in the dish, but it ignored it completely. Cleaning that scene was one of the hardest things I've done. Brain matter doesn't just wash away, it mushes into the floor, so I had to carefully pick up every piece before I could even start scrubbing. Every step had to be precise, not just for hygiene, but because I knew how fragile everything in that scene was. It's moments like that which show you what this job really is, confronting death and decay in a way most people will never see. Most people never see what happens after the headlines fade, after the crime is reported, after the sirens are gone, but someone has to walk into the scene where life ended, chaos remains, and trauma lingers in the air. I've seen blood, destruction, despair, and yet while the world carries on outside, I'm the one left to restore order. Every cleanup is different, unpredictable. Sometimes it's a hoarder's home, sometimes a meth lab, sometimes a place where someone has lost their life in the most tragic way. One scene that still haunts me was a house where the owner had been a serial killer. Cameras were installed everywhere, every hallway, every room, and the place was filthy, like a horror movie set. Cleaning his bathroom, I imagined him staring at himself in the mirror before committing his crimes. The cold feeling of that place stayed with me long after I left. One of the most difficult jobs I ever took was after a man lost everything to a flood. He had just finished fixing up his house, spending his entire life savings on it. When the flood destroyed all of that, he couldn't handle it. He burned his Bible in the yard, walked into his hobby room, and shot himself. When I arrived, his wife was still in shock. She pointed to the burnt Bible outside and told me he just overreacted. That moment, and it stuck with me, I had to rip out all the carpeting, disinfect the subfloor, and clean every trace of blood. But the hardest part wasn't the cleaning, it was the silence in that house and the look on his wife's face. You can never prepare yourself for that. Suicides like this are some of the hardest scenes. It's not just about removing the blood and biohazards, it's about walking into the aftermath of someone's worst moment, with family still reeling from the shock. People think you get used to it over time, but I don't. I thought I would eventually, but I never did. The scenes blur together sometimes. Blood, glass, broken furniture. But what doesn't blur are the families, the faces of the people left behind. That's what stays with me. It's easy to assume that cleaning is just cleaning. Wipe a table, mop a floor, move on. But the toll it takes on the body and mind is invisible. Imagine lifting heavy mattresses, scrubbing bathroom tiles for hours, and pushing carts that weigh more than you. Many cleaners develop chronic back pain, skin conditions from harsh chemicals, and breathing problems from inhaling fumes every day. And then there's the emotional weight, being treated as if you don't exist, or worse, being treated as if you're beneath everyone else. There was this one night I was cleaning an office. Everyone had already left except for one man. He looked at me and said, "I could never do what you do. It must be so humiliating." Then he laughed. I smiled like it didn't bother me, but inside I was crushed. I wasn't ashamed of my job, but his words made me feel like I should be. I cried in the bathroom that night. People don't understand we're not just cleaners. We're human beings with dignity. These workers carry pain you don't see. And yet, tomorrow, she'll show up again. She'll scrub, she'll mop, she'll make sure the space looks spotless for the next day. When you leave a hotel room and it feels fresh, when you walk into an office and it's spotless, when the world around you feels clean, it didn't just happen. Someone's hands made it that way. And those hands are often tired, cracked, and unseen. Most people never notice the cleaner who leaves a place shining. They only notice if something's wrong. That silence, that invisibility, is the price so many cleaners pay for doing one of the hardest, most thankless jobs in the world. Sometimes I wonder if anyone realizes the effort behind every clean surface. I wish, just once, someone would look me in the eye and say thank you. Not because I need praise, but because it would mean they actually saw me. Behind every spotless floor and polished desk is a story of resilience, exhaustion, sacrifice, and dignity. Next time you pass a cleaner, don't look away. Don't let them stay invisible, because the truth is, they are the reason our world looks the way it does.